Hey, Joe at Fabspeed Motorsports USA. Want to show all of our Porsche files, Boxster Cayman enthusiasts worldwide, what the factory Porsche 987.1 first generation, 987.2 second generation, and 981 factory Porsche mufflers look like from Porsche and how they're designed internally, and how Porsche deliberately emasculated and or hobbled the Boxster Cayman platforms so that their premium car, the 911, always had more horsepower, more sports car sound, and really shone. But also to let people understand, Fabspeed, with over 25 plus years of design, engineering, dyno development, professional and amateur street and racetrack development, can literally liberate more power on these cars and sports car sound and be emissions legal. So let's dive right in. Here in front of me is the Porsche 987.1 Boxster Cayman and 987.2 Boxster Cayman factory exhaust. This is the right-hand side, half of the exhaust, and what you're going to see is, and Fabspeed's been doing this for over 25 plus years, is we cut apart the factory mufflers, and when we can't, we'll do X-ray testing, but the exhaust comes out of the engine, goes through this over the axle pipe, which is about 2 inches, 50 millimeters, and then as it goes inside this muffler, voila, we open this up, and you can see what's in here. And here's your factory muffler from Porsche. The exhaust goes through this piece right here in my hand. There is a little bypass pipe right here that lets some exhaust pressure out. It's almost like a ½ an inch, and it aims some exhaust here, but the bulk of the exhaust goes through a 2 inch, 50 millimeter pipe, and it aims at this hole here. What happens, ladies and gentlemen, is you have a reverse 3-flow chamber muffler, 3 on this side, 3 on the other side. The exhaust builds a pressure in here. This is a perforated wall, and once the exhaust pressure builds in here, it has to migrate through this perforated wall, and some of it shunts right where my finger is, and then it has to fight its way back through this other perforated wall, which is very restrictive, breaks up the sound, and then when it's done, it goes through this velocity stack where my thumb is. And then once it goes through this velocity stack, this tubing is 48 millimeters or 1.9 millimeter OD, and it goes out here, goes through this tip. The other side of the exhaust slams into each other, goes through this H-pipe tip, out the tailpipe. So this is what Porsche did for all the 987.1 to 987.2 cars from 2005 to 2012. All models, no variances, US or worldwide. And there's power and sports car sound to be had, and Fabspeed's been at it, and I've owned each and every one of these models of these cars, and we've had numerous customers worldwide. Hey, jumping right in. Later on, Porsche came out with the 981 platform, and that was from 2013 to 2016, 3 4s, and then they made the GT4 and the Boxster Spider with a 3.8, and once again, you have typical Porsche setup over the axle pipes. The tubing goes in here, and it's another 3-chamber muffler, 1 center chamber and the right side chamber. The exhaust comes through this pipe, fills this chamber up. This is your balance tube going to the other muffler. But once this hits a certain pressure, and this tube here, the inlet pipe tube, it's under 2 inches in diameter, 1.88 OD tubing, which is about 48 millimeters. So that's really pinching the flow down right there. And they have a bypass hole here too, but the exhaust fills this chamber. And then once it fills this chamber, it has to fight its way back through this perforated center wall that's welded in place into this middle chamber, and then it goes through these holes here and holes below, and then goes through this velocity stack. A cone like that, it's folded back, it's called a velocity stack. The exhaust goes in this pipe, comes through here, and then hits in the other side of the exhaust, it comes out the tips. This is once again, I hope, enlightening to Porsche people that the Boxster Cayman platforms, all versions of it, have been hobbled and emasculated deliberately by Porsche so that the ultimate car you want, even though you are Boxster Cayman people like myself, and I've had numerous 911s, they make great cars, Boxster Caymans, and there's lots of horsepower and lots of torque on the table that's available if you buy your bolt-ons and modifications wisely. And you go with companies like Fabspeed that goes for 25 plus years designing, engineering, street and racetrack developing, dyno developing systems for professional racers and amateurs, and then your daily drivers. So check us out online and Have a great day.